So this video is all about linear functions for sections 3 and 4 for chapter 2. And here we start out with the general form of a linear function, ax plus by equals c, the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Probably everyone's most familiar with this form because, of course, we have m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. The point slope form, which you will be expected to use and know this year. A horizontal line comes in the form y equals b. A vertical line comes in the form x equals a and b both being constants. And of course, this b is the same thing as that b. And then of course we have the slope formula. And if you look carefully here, the point slope form is simply the slope formula, the cross product is what you get after you cross multiply. That's an easy way to remember it. So those are just basic linear functions. So on this sheet, we're just going to go through and we're just going to graph a whole bunch of lines on this sheet. I'm going to make them nice and color coordinated for you. So first of all, we have f of x equals 2x minus 3. Of course, this is in slope-intercept form. So we have a y-intercept at -3 and a slope of 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So here's that first line. Things I want to point out here is that this has a positive slope of 2. So the line is an increasing function. It has a constant increase, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, throughout the entirety of the function. Next, let's take a look at the g function. The g function has a negative slope and a positive y-intercept at 4. Where the red slope was steep and positive, the blue line here is not going to be so steep and it's going to be negative. Down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. So this one has a negative slope. Notice that it is decreasing from the left to the right. Next, the green line. The green line here is a horizontal line. Notice that we don't have an x. There's no input opportunity. So that means we are talking about a horizontal line right down here, and every single value for y on this line is simply going to be y equals 5. So that's why we can say h of x equals 5, or we can just say y equals -5. Why? Because every point all the way across has a y value of -5. Next, the k function. K of x equals 1/6 x. Now, if you don't see a constant over here, it's perfectly fine to just add 1 on, but don't change the value. So we use the additive identity, which is 0, which means that this line, not very steep at all, almost flat, is going to have a y-intercept at 0, 0, and it is going to go up 1 over 6 or down 1 back 6. So it is increasing, but not by much. So there's the orange line. And then lastly, we simply have x equals 3. This has no output of y at all. This is a vertical line at x equals 3. So here's x equals 3, here's x equals 3, here's x equals 3. No restrictions on y. This is a vertical line. So one thing to keep in mind, a vertical line has an undefined slope, and the horizontal line has a slope equal to 0. 0 rise and no run. 0 rise and all run. So, all right, all the different types of linear functions that you might see. Now, the next two problems that I've got take us on into section 2.4, where we're dealing with slope and we're dealing with the idea of parallel and perpendicular. So let's do these two problems. So find the equation of a line that is parallel to 3x minus 4y equals 12 and passes through the point 8, negative 6. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to take the given equation and we need to solve it for y because we need to know the given line's slope. We need to know the given line slope. So 3x minus 4y equals 12. So negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. Divide by negative 4. Y equals negative over negative. That becomes positive 3/4 x minus 3. So our given line, and I will graph our given line. I'll graph it dashed because it is auxiliary. So let's graph it. So it's here, starting here, and it's got a positive slope, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our given line, and we want to construct a new line. So this is our given line. That's why I'm going to graph it dashed because it's not technically our answer. It's going to help us get to our answer. So our new line passes through the point 8, negative 6. So I'm going to graph that in orange. We're going to graph this point over 8, down 6. This is our new point. Now think about it. Parallel lines, and the two L's in the middle should help you to remember that parallel lines are going to be rising and running at the same rate. They're never going to intersect. They are going to have equal slopes. So we need to utilize the slope that we found in the given line. The slope of the given line is 3/4. Our new line, which will be parallel to the given line, will also have that same slope. So let's use the point slope form of the line, and let's plug in our slope and let's plug in our given point to find the equation of our new line that's going through the orange point. So remember, this will be x1, this will be y1, and this will be m. So our point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x of 1. Let's plug in. Here we go. Y minus negative 6 equals 3/4 times x minus 8. So this is the point slope form of the line. And on homework problems, you might be asked to first write the point slope form of the line. So that would be the first answer. Next, let's solve it for y, and let's get our answer in slope-intercept form. So let's distribute the 3/4. So y plus 6 equals 3/4 x minus 3/4 of 8 is 6. And then our last step, which since I am out of room on the paper, I will write it right up here, will be to subtract 6 from both sides and give us a final answer of, canceling, y equals 3/4 x minus 12. Our new line is going to have the equation y equals 3/4 x minus 12. So let's finish graphing it just so we can see. So if this is negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, we are anticipating our new line going through that point. So let's use the slope. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are correct. So here's our new line that is parallel to our given line and passes through the point 8, negative 6. First, we used the point slope form of the line, and then we solved it and put it in slope-intercept form. Similar type question, except we're changing one word. In this question, we are not going to be looking for a parallel line, but a perpendicular line. So find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the given line 2x plus 3y equals 9 and passes through 6, 6. So if we're talking perpendicular, remember perpendicular lines meet to form right angles. That's why the symbol for perpendicularity is the little upside down T. So we're talking about perpendicular lines here. Once again, the first thing we need is we need to go to the given line and we need to know its slope. So let's take the given equation and let's solve it for y and find the slope. So the given equation has a slope of -2/3. -2/3 is the slope of the given line. Let's go ahead and graph the given line and we'll let it be auxiliary. So +3 is the y-intercept, down to 1, 2, 3, down to 1, 2, 3. So here's our given line. I'm going to draw it dashed because it's not our answer, but it will help us get to our answer. There we go, given line. Now, we want a new line, and we want our new line to be perpendicular to our given line. So we want our new line to go through 6, 6. So once again, let me plot 6, 6 in orange. So if our new line has to go through 6, 6, and we want it to be perpendicular, well, let's take a look. Our given line has a negative slope. Our perpendicular line will have a positive slope. So something to keep in mind is that perpendicular slopes are opposite and reciprocal. Perpendicular slopes are opposite and reciprocal. So if our point, which will be our x1, y1, is 6, 6, and our new perpendicular slope must be opposite and reciprocal from the given slope. So if this one's negative, our new slope is positive, and we'll also take the reciprocal. So new point, new slope, let's plug it into the point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x of 1. So y minus 6 equals 3/2 times x minus 6. We need to distribute the 3/2. So we get y minus 6 equals 3/2 x, and 3/2 times a -6. 2 goes into 3, or excuse me, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 9. Last step, add 6. Add 6, 6's cancel, and we get a fresh new line of y equals 3/2 x, and -9 plus 6 is -3. So we know our new line is going through 6, 6. There it is, right there. And let's use this slope. So down 3, back 2, down 3, back 2, down 3, back 2. Just as we suspected, it's going through the y-intercept at -3. So our fresh new perpendicular line that's going through the point 6, 6 looks like this. And of course, that perpendicular line is going to form a right angle with our given line. So we started with the point slope form of the line, and we solved it for y to get the slope intercept form of the line. So that's everything you ever wanted to know about linear functions.